empowers. It's the oxygen that fuels innovation, creates breakthroughs, and gets heads nodding. Yes isn't scared of cancer. Cancer is scared of yes. Yes is a cure for type 1 diabetes and its momentum unstoppable. At Mid-Missouri's only academic health center, we live by the word yes, and it always finds a way.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Monday, December the 19th. We're not all that far away from the end of the year. Mel Zelenak is with us. Good to have you here,
Paul,
Mel
Merry
Zelenak.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
I'm wearing my red outfit.
Yeah, I got green and red on, too.
Yeah.
So celebrating the season. But Mel is consumer and travel information. You're a retired professor at the University of Missouri. Mm-hmm. And every time we have you on, we get comments from listeners. They always send me emails and want your email address to get in touch with you. So we thought today we're going to end, as we're going into the new year, with New Year's resolutions.
It's one of my favorite, and I'm going to use maybe 4 or 5 this time, and then next time I'm going to do the remaining ones.
All right. The number one?
The number one, Paul, I figured it out. I've been teaching in the consumer area for, believe it or not, 49 years. Mm-hmm. At secondary school, college, and offering seminars now. This first resolution is by far the biggest ripoff of consumers that I have ever come across in those 50 years, and you know what it is because I talk about it quite often, and it is this idea about the need for financial planners, and if you don't have a financial planner who's in a fiduciary relationship with you, basically you're working with a salesperson.
Now, we explained the fiduciary relationship means that the financial planner has to look out for your benefits first before they consider the commission that they make. Let me just fine-tune that a little bit.
They're not looking out for their commission. They're almost like a lawyer, the relationship, a fiduciary relationship, or a doctor. I mean, I'm overstating that a little bit, but basically they're looking out for your interest.
If you have a fiduciary relationship with your financial advisor.
Their payment is not from commissions, or if it is, they're going to disclose it to you, but they're still saying it's the very best deal for you. And they're going to charge you typically 1% or 1.5% of your total holdings each year. Okay,
that's from the expense ratio. Is that right?
The expense ratio is only part of the fees that many people charge. Okay, the average fee, according to Robbins, is 3.17% a year. And I'm not talking about fiduciary. I'm talking about financial planners in general. Now, that was in Tony Robbins' book.
But let's go back to the fiduciary. What you're saying is that you're going to come out better if you have a fiduciary relationship with your financial advisor.
You're going to come out better because they're looking out for your interest, not theirs.
Now, a law was passed that was supposed to go into effect in April of 2017 that all financial advisors had to be fiduciary. Is that correct?
Not all, with retirement accounts only.
They have to be fiduciary. However, I read in the paper a couple of days ago that the possibility of this new incoming administration is wanting to do away with that.
Yeah, and
wanting to do away with that rule.
I hope you misread it, but if you didn't, and I haven't read it yet, it just apparently came out today.
What I read was that they are thinking seriously about doing away with that.
I think that would be so sad.
And of course, anything can happen between now and then.
Yeah, but it's a $13 trillion industry, the financial planning industry, and I could understand why, from a political standpoint, they may want to continue.
Yeah, and I cannot remember which paper. It was either in the Trib, USA Today, or New York Times. I cannot remember which paper, and it was just a little blurb in there.
Well,
okay, so that's the number one resolution.
Yeah, and I noted in here too, I'm going to talk about the estimated lifetime savings that you would have if you follow these individual tips. And for the first one, and if somebody is investing over a 40-year period, and let's say they're giving, I don't know, $400 or $500 a month, they're going to save, if they do this on their own, like I suggest they do, and that'll be the next tip, they're going to save at least $250,000, depending on how much they're investing each month. So basically, that could be 3 or 4 or 5 years that you're working for the fees that you're paying that you really don't need to pay.
Okay.
And what you need to do is either get a fiduciary relationship and pay the 1.5% if you're not comfortable, or follow the advice that I do, and it's not very hard. And that's what's suggested in this book, The Smartest Investment Book You'll Ever Read.
And that book has been around for some time?
It's been around a long time, yeah. and Tony Robbins' book, Money Master the Game. Both of those talk about the importance of doing this on your own, and you could do it through a Vanguard fund, and that's the one that I always recommend. That's the one that Warren Buffett recommends. That's the one that I know of no one ever I've talked with them. Is that in that book? Yes.
Okay.
I know of no one who has said Vanguard is a bad deal, even financial planners.
Okay. Now, we've got less than a minute here. You get
okay. Let's go on to the third one. And the third one is so the second one is do it yourself with passive investing. If somebody wants to send me an email, it's Mel's at Mel's Cruises, at charter.net. I'll just go through the 4 or 5 steps that are highlighted in the Solon book. Okay. Solon book will take somebody an hour and a half to read. The other book is a little more complicated, and it doesn't say anything more of any great value. So the Solon book, The Smartest Investment Book You'll Ever Read. And we could stop here if you like, and then next time we can pick up with Pay Yourself First.
Give me, is that the third one?
Pay yourself first,
which means
pay your bills last.
Put your money away first for yourself, then pay your bills.
Why do I say pay them last?
Well, you want to make sure you pay all of your bills, but you also want to pay yourself first because you're looking to the future.
Exactly.
But don't spend more than what you can afford with your bills. You got to pay all your bills each month.
Well, that's the point. You pay yourself first, and then you're going to be motivated because you don't want to pay these unconscionable credit card rates.
Right. Okay, we're out of time, but Mel, you'll continue next year with tip number 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever.
We'll try and go through as many as we can.
All right, Mel Zelenak, always a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well.
All right, tomorrow we've got Michael Butterworth on with some Christmas music. And if there's something you would like to hear or see, you can drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. If you're going out, be nice to each other today. Bye-bye.